Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another podcast. Today, Alex and I are going to take you through AI, artificial intelligence. So let's get into it. Alex, would you fuck a robot?
I haven't put much thought into it until probably just about now, and I'm gonna be a no.
No, why?
I'm just gonna word it like I was taught and raised. Uh, when it comes to that type of relationship, you ain't gonna burn all your fires in the woods. In other words,
What?
it's a Christian saying. It's like saying you ain't gonna go sleep around.
Oh, okay, okay,
Where I'm
okay,
gonna go
okay.
with that is I don't think the robot would uh meet my needs. To put it simply,
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
listen, like I'm gonna need more than just like a little session.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to call me back. I'm gonna need
yeah,
flowers sent to my house. I'm gonna need all of that. And a
like I'm gonna
robot just
need
can't do it.
Christmas dinner. Like, you know, like
You know what? It is not easy though. Just like feed me, and yeah, robot. We could relate. We could connect.
see, I don't think I would be able to connect to a robot.
Have you watched Her?
Yeah, I love that movie. It's so sick.
Okay, so I rewatched it actually the other day,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is low key kind of down bad. But this would also be me. Like,
But
it's really down bad,
it's
but
so relatable though. Like, not that
yeah.
I do it, sorry, but like it's just like I don't know. I watched that movie. I'm like, anybody could be doing this right now, and I
Hmm.
have no idea. Like, you see so many people walking around with their AirPods, and you think
Yeah.
they're listening to music.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? That's the thing with like how AI is right now, where it's really taken over the world. Like I feel like
One
artificial
hundred percent.
intelligence, like it's something that I heard about 10 years ago, but it's not something that was like big. Like it was
Yeah.
like oh, like our new artificial intelligence model. But I was just like, okay, this is so niche, but like I saw this ad come up on my phone for a fucking AI dishwasher, and it was like and it was like our AI model can sense the exact right time to do your dishes for yada yada yada. It's from Samsung.
Like
And like,
like it tells you when to do dishes?
well, no, it's like apparently it just uses AI to like clean your dishes better. Like it can sense like what I don't fully know the science behind it,
Don't
but
you
it's like an AI loaded dishwasher.
don't you think that's a bit of a facade? Like the
Well, I don't
like
know.
dishwashers had sensors in it before. Do you think they're just putting AI in front of it to get it to sound like
You know what?
trendy?
Like maybe, but it's also like I saw that and then I clicked the link because I was like, well, no, I'm not saying I would buy it, but like
Yeah,
I'm curious about it. Like I would want to
yeah,
actually go and see like, well, what the fuck is AI gonna do about it?
yeah. There was I had that experience, but I guess mine was a little different in the sense that like I saw like an ad for AI, but it was kind of like her where you're like communicating with someone,
Hmm.
but it's ancient like philosophers. And so you could talk philosophy with it, but it
Okay.
was from the perspective of like I guess they uploaded like all their like texts and stuff
Yeah,
like that, so you could like
but you can
talk.
get ChatGPT to do that.
Yeah, I don't know, it just like I didn't try it, but it definitely got me intrigued. But then I kind of like I was about to like do it, and I was about to type, and then it just kind of stopped, and I was like, I feel gross and dirty. I'm just like,
Yeah,
this isn't for
you wouldn't
me.
fuck a robot, but you'd let
No.
it teach you philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you like think about AI fundamentally?
I'm very indifferent in it in the sense that it's happening, you can't get rid of it, but
Hmm.
I'm very much I think it's just gonna misuse. Like I think we're
Hmm.
overusing it, but then I also think that when it was originally presented to us and like what its intentions would be, that's not like what's happening right now. So
Hmm.
it's just like it feels very weird and very fast to me.
Yeah, well, AI is like it's a powerful tool, but I think people are just like, "Oh, this shit's good." And they're using it for like everything. Like, I mean, I just got the new
Yeah.
iPhone and it has AI like built into the phone. Like, I have a button on it that pulls up AI when I click it.
I just think so many people are like anytime I talk to someone and they have to think of an answer, their first response is, "Oh, what does ChatGPT said?" And like
Mhm.
I get it because it's a cool tool.
Mhm.
Something about it that just irks me. Like it just gets me
Yeah, yeah.
upset that
So what
that's
do you
just
think
like the
AI should be
natural.
used for?
I think this is how I am picture it. Is the perfect world is that it would do all the kind of like mundane labor tasks that
Like data entry?
yeah, like data entry or like just like silly stuff. Like for example, we would move beyond like basic math
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and the whole thing would be to reduce the workload of us so then we can go pursue like other stuff, like for example like arts or like like kind of advance the civilization of
Mhm.
us not working. That's how I
Yeah.
like transition us out of
Yeah.
working. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's used like that.
But, I feel like everybody's, like, obsessed with AI now, and, like, even companies are. Like, companies are hiring
It's
people to, like,
yeah,
develop AI and use AI and
yeah,
make AI, and it's, like, crazy.
yeah. There's people that are getting hired for I can't remember the term, but
Yeah.
it's like you're basically like an expert on like how to properly ask AI prompts.
Yeah.
I can't
And
remember
it's
what it's
like,
called, but
"Can we
yeah,
get a fucking plumber?"
yeah, yeah,
What happened to an electrician?
yeah, yeah. Well, those jobs aren't getting filled right now. Like, our mutual friend, his dad works at a nuclear factory, and like so they have engineers and stuff like that, but they physically can't hire. Like, there's no one that's actually going into that area,
Mm.
so they can't hire anyone. So they're literally like hiring people right off the boat and training them in like an engineering degree to work at their factory. That's
You gotta fill the job.
sorry.
You gotta fill the job.
I guess I don't know, but like I don't know. I just feel like AI
Yeah.
is taking away a lot of like the high skilled, like
Mhm.
kind of corporate jobs.
Do you know what I'm gonna go on the record and say? AI is turning people into AI, because I
Yeah.
swear when I'm, like, interacting with people out in the open, people are fucking dumb. And I'm not saying I'm Albert Einstein, I'm not saying I'm, like, a genius, but, like,
Okay,
there are
smarty
some people.
pants.
No, 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 okay, no, but, like, I feel like AI has stripped people of any form of critical thinking, because
Yeah.
I feel like AI also became a real hot thing around the time of COVID, and everyone knows everyone got stupider after COVID.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, it's to the point where it's like, I'm talking to people and I'm like, "Holy shit." Do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like there's like almost like zero. My problem is, and like this is I guess kind of like
mhm,
my school is like I'm very much someone where I'm like, oh, like there needs to be value. And if you
okay.
talk to me and there's no value, I just get frustrated. And I just kind of what? Like I don't know. I just and so there's sometimes where I feel like AI is like that.
Mm,
Where like yes, it does the job, but
mhm,
sometimes I'm just kind of like I just feel like I'm reading like I'm just staring at a wall reading something.
mhm.
Like like there's no
Okay.
expression.
Let's go with this from, like, the perspective of a student. So when I say, like, AI is turning people into AI, I'm thinking about other students where it's like, okay, so there's something that you notice about when you ask AI to write something.
Mhm.
Because, like, and we'll talk about it later, like, how
Mhm.
we use AI, like, the capacity we use AI at.
Mhm.
But, like, when I'm working in, like, group projects with other students, for example, it's very evident when they write with AI, because AI
Yeah.
is just like, it's just like words. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
everybody, when you have, like, a cohesive thought, it kind of, like, carries through your writing. Like, you have a
Yeah.
voice, so to speak. And it's like, you could ask AI to write you this whole essay, but it's really the same sentence written
Mhm.
5 different
Mhm.
ways, and that's a paragraph.
There's no like soul
There's no
behind.
soul, there's no funk.
Yeah, and that's kind of
We're looking for funk.
my gripe with it is like I like I'm gonna be a loser and a nerd for a second. I'm someone that very much like has an appreciation for education and the art of like getting better at a task or like bettering yourselves. And I just feel like AI is just absolutely stripping that.
Mhm,
Like it's too easy, it's too accessible. And so I just think like people are getting we're just gonna like as you said, like we're
mhm,
just gonna get dumber and we're just gonna
yeah,
regress because like again, nobody's doing any critical thinking for
mhm.
themselves.
Well, you know what? Like, I think what's really powerful is, like, okay, AI realistically is not going anywhere.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's a matter, and I've heard some, like, professors say this, and, like, people that I respect say this, where, like, our job isn't to, like, stop AI or get rid of it. Our job is to adapt to the world that it's creating. And
Yeah.
when I think of, like, school and the capacity of school, like, instead of just like, "Oh, we're gonna do lockdown browser, you better not cheat." I know how to cheat. Let's be honest. But what you have to do is, like, instead of just making everything like multiple choice and like yada yada yada, it's like, use more critical thinking
Yeah.
in your examinations. Like, have more assignments. Honestly, I'm a fan of presentations, because a paper you can just write with AI. But if somebody goes up, even if they have an AI script, if they can't deliver it properly, they're gonna look stupid.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
there has to be more oomph, because the real world is now moving away from, like, multiple choice and memorizing things, because bitch, you can Google that.
Yeah. Well, like my thing about it is like I'm very much like I think like the flaws that you described there is more of a flaw with the education system, where like I'm talking like when I talk appreciation for education, I'm talking about like people developing theses, writing their like own papers, like getting a
Mm,
PhD. Like I'm talking like that type of level of education
mhm,
where it's new, it's innovative, it's like you're trying to be disruptive in a sense. And I just feel like if nobody's like, I'm not saying that like people are stopped doing that, but I'm just saying like you're stopping like the very entry level of doing that. Like for
mhm,
example, like we're both in colleges, we're not getting our PhDs or our masters, we're not developing theses, but in order to like be like for example, we're both in business. So if you're
mhm.
trying to disrupt an industry with a new
Yeah.
idea, it's like if everyone's just fucking doing AI to figure out their problems, there's not going
Mhm.
to be that innovation anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my whole thing about it is that like that's a very human experience, and I
Mhm.
feel like AI is just stripping that, and but nobody's being like fully cognitive about it, or like
Mhm.
nobody's like looking at it from a stance of like, guys, we need to like slow down.
Do you wanna okay, I keep seeing this like, these memes of, like, for example, it'd be, like, a patient in an operating room, and their doctor is like, "Hold on one sec," and it's, like, them looking up something on ChatGPT, and it's, like that kind of encapsulates it where it's, like, okay, ChatGPT, like, personally, I think it's, like, good for, like, generating ideas, or, like, I can openly admit some things that I use ChatGPT for. I use it for, like, the brainstorming stages mostly, like, if I haven't done anything, like, "Oh, like, I have to write this essay, like, what's a good structure for it? What are some prompts I can use?" But then the rest of it kinda has to be from, like, your brain because those people that just, like, copy and paste ChatGPT, I'm like,
But I like I'm gonna throw a wrench into that. I feel like when like I think learning and being a critical thinker and being able to develop ideas is like a skill. And I'm not, and when I say all this, I'm not like excellent at it either. Like I also use ChatGPT when I'm stuck, not in education, but just like there's some other stuff that I use it
mhm.
for. But like I think it's more rewarding if, say, for example, like you're not always gonna have a great idea, but when you do have those great ideas, is that you're able to like learn from it. And so that's why I kind of like when it comes to the brainstorming aspect of it, I don't necessarily agree that's what ChatGPT should be used for, because I think that brainstorm should be tied towards like you, unless I'm misunderstanding.
Well, like
Like I'm talking like say for example the start of an essay, like when you're generating like your thesis and you're trying to figure out like what the essay is going to be about, I think that should very much rely on the person, because I think that's a skill to like develop a good thesis and have an idea and a paper that's actually worth being read.
I mean, that's kinda like a black and white thing, though. Like,
In what
I I
sense?
I think that, like okay, in this example, developing a paper.
Hmm.
If I'm writing a paper, um, let's just say, like, okay, because 'cause I'm a business major, so I write a lot of, like, things about business, and then, I'm like, "Okay, I want to write a paper because 'cause I've written a paper on quiet quitting recently, and, like, researched that. So I asked ChatGPT, "Okay, I'm writing a paper on quiet quitting, like, what kind of topic should I talk about?" ChatGPT then will look at quiet quitting, do all these searches, and it'll be like, "Okay, like, you could talk about the impacts of it on, society." Like, it'll give me, like, 10 or 15 prompts. I read through these prompts, and I'm like, "Okay, now that I've read through these prompts, I'm, like, more confident in having a direction." And I still think that uses critical thinking because I'm analyzing this data and then pushing it forward.
But you're not like finding that data yourself. Like you're not reading, you're not trying to find like holes in that industry. Like for
Well,
example, like
that's the starting point. You then go and you look into your own things.
yeah, I don't know. I just like I feel like you lose kind of like the expertise, because like I guess like my experience of writing papers is like very much from like a political science standpoint.
Okay,
Where
low key, this
yeah,
argument we should probably continue after because I feel like this is gonna take up the entire thing.
okay, okay,
I
okay,
mean, if you have something like woke, but I just noticed we've been talking about it for like 6 minutes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So do you want to change topics then?
Low key, yeah.
Okay. So how do you want?
Okay. What?
I was gonna say, how do you want to transition into it?
What else? Oh my god, I can't critically think. Okay, deep fakes. What do you think about deep fakes?
They're kind of scary. No? Like I think they're fun. Like I think I like the memes of them,
Mhm.
but they're scary when people abuse it.
But it's kinda getting to a point where, like, what worries me about deep fakes is, like, okay, the technology, like, I've seen memes of it where, like, it obviously looks fake, but I've also seen things on deep fakes where, like, it looks really real, and if somebody because, we're kind of in the generation of, like, nobody, like, really fact check things.
Mhm.
Like, if I see a TikTok of something, I'm no better than everyone else. Like, I'm
Mm.
gonna be like, "Okay, that's T," unless, like, I find something else that contradicts it. Do you get
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, if it's a topic that I know about or that I'm interested in,
Yeah.
maybe I'll do further research. But, it's like, somebody could just say something dumb that I don't care that much about, and then, like, if somebody asks me about it later, I'll be like, "Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. It's probably trite. It's
What's
probably
like
right."
what's like the worst like gotcha like deep fake that's
Ooh.
happened to you?
Well, no, just like okay, I'm not thinking about anything in specifics, but I'm thinking about like deep fakes of like okay, I'm kind of taking it as like 5 years from now,
Mm.
the
Okay,
technology could be
gotcha. Yeah,
better
yeah,
and
yeah.
like I could imagine somebody making a deep fake about like me, for example, and saying like I said a bunch of slurs and now I'm canceled on the internet. Like that's what I'm kind of thinking.
That's scary. I didn't even
Well,
like think about that.
like
That's
I'm thinking
scary.
that's probably happening to that could happen to celebrities because
Yeah.
I see a lot of deep fakes of Barack Obama.
Why? Why do you
I
think
don't know, I
that?
guess he's just a hot topic, but, like, I see a lot of deepfakes of, like, Barack Obama, like, singing Taylor Swift songs or something, and then, like,
Like, see, like
Barack
that's like
Obama just, like
innocent.
that's innocent,
Yeah.
but if they have that technology, what's to stop them from, like, making something because, things like to get politicized, so what if somebody politicizes some, like, dumb shit
Okay,
that
so
people are
like
saying?
what if like this is where my brain's going at with that. What if like say for example like we get to a world where like there's so many fakes, like for example like Justin Bieber starts like all these deep fakes are coming out of him just saying all this crazy shit. And then it gets to the point where he's just a target of deep fakes. But then what if Justin Bieber actually just starts to say a bunch of crazy shit, but everyone thinks
Mhm.
it's deep fake?
That's pretty meta. That's pretty meta, that's pretty, like, deep into it.
Like I just like that's what I could kind of see that happening where it's just like, it what if it gets rid of accountability?
Okay.
Is that too meta?
Okay, but what if, like okay, let's say, for example, you're a celebrity in this timeline.
Yeah.
You're a celebrity and like, this is happening to you where a bunch of deep fakes are coming out and
Yeah.
people are saying like you said this. Would you actually I know what you would answer. You would probably be like, "No, I would deny all of it." But would you indulge a little bit? Like would you just say like one thing just to get off your chest?
It would kind of it would be like having like a younger sibling where in the sense where it's like it you would blame it on them to just get rid of the nuisance for a little bit. Like,
Mm,
like for example, like say if like very basic example, you eat the last cookie. And it's like who ate the last cookie? And then you can blame it. And it's like,
mhm,
you know how to deal with it, but it's
mhm,
not like it actually creates
mhm.
any sort of drama, but it just
Yeah,
like gets something off your chest. That's
yeah.
how I would use it.
That
Like
really insane thing that I saw on the internet, it was my deep fake.
yeah, like that but that's what's gonna happen though. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's what's gonna it's gonna go in a phase where like someone's gonna get canceled hard. There's
Mhm,
gonna be an apology,
mhm.
and then people are gonna realize that they can abuse it.
Mm, mm,
And
mm,
that's
mm,
kind of where
mm.
I'm at it. And I'm just happy where we're at right now, where it is just Obama singing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Because
there is like there are some deepfake videos. Okay, because I don't know, I see like clips and stuff of AI like movies and pictures and
hmm
stuff, and it's like we're not there yet, but we're getting to a point where I think it's gonna become very difficult to tell what's AI and what's not AI.
yeah,
Because some AI
100%.
images I see, they're like they make you take a second glance, like it's small things. Like if it generates an AI picture of somebody,
I always look at the fingers. That's my
yeah,
first one.
it's like fingers, it's things like that. But
Always look at the
like
fingers. Yeah.
that might not be a problem. You know what I did one time? Okay, so randomly at school, they were doing this random day where they were like, "Oh, take a professional headshot with us. Put it on your LinkedIn."
Oh, that's kind of
And
cool.
yeah, yeah, but like I figured out the day of,
hmm
and I was looking kind of trashy. So I took the picture, and okay, but they also kind of did me dirty because the lighting that they gave me, I just feel like
It just wasn't your angle.
it just wasn't my angle. It wasn't my angle, and I was looking at it. I can show you after. Maybe I've already showed you,
Yeah.
but it was disgusting. So
Yeah.
then I tried to use AI, and I was like, AI, like, make me look cute in this,
Yeah.
and it was actually pretty gross. I'll show you both of those,
Like
but
they
it's
made
like,
it made you look good.
yeah, randomly without getting too like woke o'clock, it fucked up my hair.
Like
Like it does not know how to do black people hair. where,
I
like, it
I
kind of just made it look like the top of a broom.
I
Like
I'm not gonna I've heard that before where, like, AI is, like, very,
yeah.
selective on
Mhm.
its approach to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the thing with, like, black people hair in particular is it's kind of like it's so, like, random. Like,
Mhm,
I have curls that are different from all the other curls on my head, so it's not,
mhm,
like, easy to, like, do, I get that.
mhm,
But, yeah, that's why, like, it's gonna take at least 10 years to deepfake me.
mhm.
You might have, like, 5. You might have 5. So,
Yeah.
we'll get canceled at different times.
I guess a question that I kinda have that goes into that is, I'm someone that has, like, very little faith in AI, so, like, when I use it, I always don't, I'm, like, skeptical towards of it because like,
Mhm,
it's faulty, like, it's not
mhm.
100% fin.
True.
Do you have faith in AI? Like, when it tells you something, are you like, "Oh,
Hmm.
yes, 100% I believe this," or
Well, no, 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 and I guess that kinda goes into, like, what I've used AI for in the past, like, if I because sometimes I've been like, "Okay, I have gin, rum, orange juice, and, like, blue curacao. What cocktails can I make?"
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it'll try to, like, concoct some things for you, and then,
Yeah.
like, it sounds on paper, it's like, "Ooh, that's good," and I try it, and it's fucking disgusting. And
Oh.
I've been in that situation, like, multiple times where it's like, it can kind of get the juices flowing, but it's not, like, 100% right.
Yeah,
But, like, would I let ChatGPT, like, decide what my job should be? No.
yeah.
Would I maybe ask it, like, what are, like, 10 job ideas that I could do with my degree? Maybe I'd ask it that.
I've done that, but, like, one thing that I had a problem with is, like, in my courses, like, for example, like, we would do,
Mhm,
like, finance, and I'd, like, check the question to be like, "Oh, is this right?" and all that shit, and then it would be like, "Oh, I got the answer wrong." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And be like, "Oh, can you, like, explain it to me?" And then it runs through the question again, and it gives me a different answer,
mhm,
and then I'm just kinda like, "Okay, what are we talking about here? Like, which one is
mhm,
it?" And,
mhm,
like,
mhm.
so it's stuff like that where I kind of have, like, a hard time with it, but then I also just feel like
Yeah.
I just I don't think people are asking it, like, moral question or, like, personal questions,
Mhm.
but, like, say, for example, I'm picturing, like, you know, imagine we're in high school and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh my god, this person's, like, being a bully to me," or whatever.
yeah.
Like, I can't see ChatGPT being, like, approaching that situation
You
in
know
a
what,
correct
though?
way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like
Okay. It would tell you things, and I think it would tailor to that situation, but it just wouldn't be like it would be generic things that you could Google. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
y
because it's a robot,
yeah,
if I was like, "Ooh, Miss GPT, I'm getting bullied hard," like, they all think that
yeah,
I smell bad.
yeah.
It would be like,
It sends you an Amazon
have
link
you
to
tried telling an
deodorant.
adult?
Yeah,
Have you tried" it's just, like,
yeah.
very generic.
Can you imagine if it goes, like, rogue one day and it's just like, "Yeah, just fucking get them." Like, just beat the shit out of
Yeah,
them.
ChatGPT, she's feeling a little
Just
spicy today,
fucking get them.
and it's just like, "Yeah, actually, go get a hammer and fuck up your bullies."
Well, did you see the one video where, the reason why I brought that up is because I saw an article where this kid was like, "Oh, I'm scared about going to school, first day of
Yeah,
school,"
yeah.
and all that stuff. The kid comes back and is talking. I don't know if it was ChatGPT, it was something though.
Mhm,
And the AI after is like, "Oh, like, how was your first day of school?" Like, I remembered and all that
mhm.
stuff. I'm just like, "That's fucking weird." Like, I'm wondering if it
Like,
could,
the
like,
AI, like, texted him?
yeah, and
Okay.
was like, "Oh, like, how was your first day of school?" And I'm just like, so imagine, like, where my brain's going at is like, say for example, if you're like, "Oh, Sally," and you like multiple occasions you've ranted about Sally. What if one day it just all of a sudden snaps and goes, "Kill her"? You
You
know?
know
Like,
what? I guess, like, for the generation that's, like, growing up with AI already in their pocket,
yeah, it's just
that
like
is kind of a thing because, kids are impressionable, but I
sounds like
feel
a
like
Netflix show, no?
I don't know, on one hand, like, AI is like the new Google.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a bit different, no? Because like
It is
Google, you
different.
have to still make your own interpretation or opinion about it, where AI just kind of feeds it to you.
Yeah, yeah, I guess in that sense, but I'm like I would trust ChatGPT to, like, do certain things, but, like, okay, for example, I would I kind of see it as like a search engine
Yeah,
where it's like
yeah,
you search it, but like the final kind of say in it still has to come from you. Like it's a resource.
yeah.
But like
Do you think that's how everybody's using it though?
no.
And that's where it gets
No,
yeah.
because I don't know, like would you do like AI therapy?
No, but I've talked to people that have delved into that,
Mhm.
like, where they've like, not therapy, but, like, for example, like, ask them about, like, news that's happening and being like, "Oh, let's have a conversation about it." Like, convince me otherwise of my opinion, like, trying to get out of their
Mhm.
opinion. Or, like, for example, just, like, even to the point of like her of like I just want someone to talk to.
Mhm.
Like I've encountered, so it's a very much a realm of like possibility right now.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. Like I just like I think us explaining our
Yeah.
emotions should be kept to
Mhm.
humans. You know, like and maybe that's a bit little old fashioned, and I'll get left in the
Maybe.
dust. But
Well, I don't know. Okay, the thing my opinion on therapy is I'm pro therapy, but I'm like
100%
therapy is kind
pro
of like
therapy.
used like a therapist's goal is to kind of guide you into your self-realizations. Do you
Hmm.
think AI could do that?
It's an interesting conversation because like I've heard this opinion. I don't agree with it, but I've heard this opinion about therapists where like their goal is to get you to come back. Uh,
Can I tell you about my therapy? Can
yeah,
we have a quick bridge? When
yeah,
I used to do therapy, which I don't need anymore because now I just drink wine, um, I I would go in there and I'm
yeah.
just like, this is my hour-long rant. I'm paying you $200
That's what I do.
to come
Yeah.
in, and you know how satisfying it is when you can make your therapist laugh? I would be like, yeah, this is all of the trauma in my life, but I would describe it in a way that's like I'm talking to you. Like I would just
Yeah.
kind of talk to her like I'm a friend,
But you would
and
be
she would just
saying the
laugh.
most rancid shit ever. Not
Yeah,
rancid, but like like the most dramatic shit ever. But you'd be
yeah, yeah,
talking like you
yeah,
are now.
yeah. I'd be like, my dad drowned me in a river, but jokes on him, I had a snorkel. Like just dumb ass shit. And she would be chuckling, and I had a great
See,
time.
because I feel like like I think you could do that where you just kind of like you're just using it to just like spell your emotions.
Yeah,
But I feel like ChatGPT would have a very male approach where they're trying to provide a solution.
right.
Like you just
Yeah.
need someone to listen. I don't
Again.
need a solution. And that's
Mm.
where I feel like ChatGPT would just be take a very male approach and being like,
Yeah.
"You're giving me a problem, let me fix it for you."
It is hard to try to take that like a non-male approach though to problems. Like I know it's like I think it must actually be a thing because like when people like tell me about their problems, I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, how can I
I
fix your
do.
problem?
It's gotten to the point where I've stopped myself, or at least I'm trying to stop myself, and I go, "Okay, what do you need? Do you need me to fix it? Do you need me to listen, or do you
Yeah.
like?" I try and like
Yeah.
break it down like that just before I even say
Yeah.
contribute any word to it. But
Do you know what I get called out on? I got called out because I speak like a business major where like when I'm trying to suggest something and not sound too forthcoming, I'm like, maybe we should and then whatever I'm gonna say. And I got
yeah,
called out on that.
you do that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do that. um,
Back
I was
to
about to
AI.
say, yeah. Do you have anything that gets you grinding about AI?
Honestly, it's just on like the impact it has on people because it makes me kind of like scared that like people are just gonna stop functioning because I feel like there are so many people
Yeah.
that like okay, no offense to engineers, but I feel like a lot of engineers or like computer science majors,
Mm,
they're already like isolating individuals a lot of the time. I feel like a lot of people I know that are like
mhm,
computer science majors, and I speak to this as somebody that like wanted to pursue a computer science major, is it's naturally a job that has a lot of isolation. Like you're alone at your desk all day, you're just typing it up. Like you can work from home a lot now,
mhm.
and I think the trajectory of like AI and all this is really bringing us into like the movie Her, where it's like these
Yeah,
people are
100%.
like gonna be no contact with humans.
Should we
The only contact they have with humans are gonna be through a computer.
should we bring up just some context about her because we brought it up a couple of times now, just in case anyone hasn't like just like a
Okay,
quick
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
2 or 3 sentences to sum up the
Do you want me
movie.
to sum it up or do you want me to sum it up?
You can sum it up, and then I might just
Okay,
add, but like,
so this is what happens in Her. There's some guy, he's like 40 or something. He has an
yeah,
ex-wife. I think he has a daughter too.
I
I
can't
was
remember.
skimming.
Ex-wife for sure.
Okay, ex-wife, and he's like all sad in his feels about it. And this like artificial intelligence named Samantha comes around.
It's like
I
a
think voiced
product.
by Scarlett
It
Johansson.
is. Yeah, it's like a
It's a
product.
product,
You can
and
buy it.
he's like, he's chatting with her. It's like his AI assistant, and bro falls in love with his AI.
And isn't it sad as fuck? Because I don't know if I should spoil it, but like the
Well,
ending of the movie.
okay, so then like he's falling like he's like sitting up all night talking with her, like in love
Yeah,
with her,
yeah.
and then at the end of it, he's like, "Oh, like you're mine," and she's like, "Actually,
Yeah, that's what I thought was
actually,
funny.
I have 50,000 users."
Yeah, she's like, I got hose.
Yeah, I know. She's like, "I got hoes. Like I
she's
am
like,
for the streets."
well, she's like, I'm talking to you. I'm also talking to this person all the way over here. Like she's
Yeah,
doing it all at once,
and
and
that fucks with him.
that it would fuck with anyone. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me? It's the same as like someone you talk to someone, you figure you're
yeah, yeah.
talking just to them, and then they're talking to other
Yeah,
people.
and then there's like this 3-minute scene of him like staring at the window, and then he cries in the shower a little bit, and then he's like doing all
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
And I think she gets decommissioned as well.
yeah.
But then like I think that, like, inspires him to then go and talk to his ex-wife. I think the whole movie is, like, it's a statement on maintaining human connection and being isolated. You know what else I watched recently? WALL-E. And WALL-E, you watch as a kid,
Yeah.
you know what Disney and Pixar actually does really well? It's like, it has different perspectives if you're a kid watching it or if you're an adult
Wally's
watching it.
very good at that.
Because when I was, like, a kid and I was watching it, I was like, "Ooh, robot, like, la 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 la
I
la."
literally get anxiety when I watch
Like, people
Wally
are fat, but, like, WALL-E actually okay, what I'm referencing is, like, those people in WALL-E that, like, are literally sitting there at their screens, like, all day,
in the
and
chair.
they're just eating, like, shakes and, like, and they're in the
Yeah,
chairs, and I'm
yeah.
like, "That's, like, kind of where we're heading."
I was about to say I feel like we already do that. That's like a brain roll. Like when people are like, "Oh, I need to go raw." Like that's exactly what they're doing, except now it's just public.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
people already get into that point. It's just a matter of like until like one company decides to sell shares to do it.
But you know what? Low key, like, I can't act like I'm, like, better than brain rot because sometimes I feel like with how life goes nowadays, like, I just need to, like, sit and watch TikToks.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like
Like,
I'm
I
not
wanna
a
act like I'm better than that, but I'm not better than that. Like, I'm not saying I'm one of those people because
yeah.
there are people that genuinely their life is like a cycle of like, okay, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna order McDonald's, and then I'm gonna watch TikTok for like 5 hours, and I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna wake up, and I'm gonna do the same thing over again.
So sad, man.
But like,
It's so
you
tragic.
know, as a little student who works,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't really get that many days off. But when I do
Yeah.
get a day off, sometimes yeah, I'm gonna be watching TikTok. Fuck with me. What do you wanna do about it? What do you wanna do? Do you wanna meet in the parking lot?
Yeah. Would you ever get upset if like say for example like TikTok integrates some sort of AI where it's like like I know they already have AI, but like interacting with you, like if they disrupt your brain rot, is that gonna upset you?
If they just
Like say for example, if they're like,
yeah,
"Oh, this is like a good video. I thought you would like it," and then send you a
it already
video.
does that.
That's it.
Well, it doesn't do like an AI like that comes up, but they have algorithms. Like it uses AI algorithms.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm talking like kind of like a Scarlett Johansson in her.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't fuck with it
Yeah, like how it's
because I don't want you to talk to me.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
actually okay. It's weird. I'm like an extrovert, but I very much need to protect my time alone.
I
Where
call it
I
recharging.
I literally don't want you to talk to me. Like, I will pay I used to
Alright,
pay extra for
yeah,
the Ubers
yeah,
because when you select a certain option of Uber, it's like, "Don't talk to me."
yeah.
And it's like, I don't care that it was, like, $30 versus, like, $10, like, I just cannot talk to a human right now because I will never forget about that Uber driver. That man was AI, where he was, like, telling me about his son's, like, mixtape and shit.
Yeah,
Like, I can't do it, I'm sorry.
yeah. Do you think it's ever gonna get to the point with AI where it's like total sci-fi where they're gonna take over?
I don't know if AI can, like well, that's the thing. I guess okay, because the whole thing with artificial intelligence is, like, it can learn. So, it's kind of hard to, like, comprehend and wrap my brain around that, but, like, in theory,
I
it
think
could.
I think it can. Like I don't want to be one of those tinfoil hats that's like standing on the side of like the street being like it's gonna happen, like like
Mhm.
but like I think there's a possibility, therefore it's probable that it will happen.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Just AI in the form of, like, text chat and, like, how most people use it, like, pictures, it's relatively harmless. But, like, for example, I saw that they're developing, like, robots that use
Mhm.
AI. I don't know if you saw the clip. I think it might be Elon Musk, but I can't
It
remember who it
is
is,
unfortunate.
where
Well,
they're
it's
like it's
Tesla.
like an AI, like, bartender,
Yeah, and it talks to you.
and it, like, talks to you, and I'm like,
That's
"Okay, first of all, as somebody that works in the service industry, I'm not threatened because I could have made, like, 4 or 5 cocktails in that time." But,
well, like
like yeah, it's like it's kind of this weird thing where it's like, "Who asked for this?" And do you wanna know what I saw in the comments?
yeah,
I was seeing
like
everybody
at the
talk
bartender video.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was seeing everybody talk, and it was just like these, like, old ass guys like, "Oh, finally, somebody I don't have to tip. Oh, ha ha. Like, finally, somebody that won't beg for a tip."
those people are
Brother, what? What
yeah.
about when that fucking AI robot decides you're a piece of shit? Okay, because what's gonna happen is if these AI bartenders do become a thing, they're also gonna need to know how to cut people off.
Yeah.
And people hate being cut off, but when
You
it's like a human and it's
you
cutting you
can't really
off
do anything about it, right?
yeah, but if it's an AI thing, I can totally see some drunk guy, like,
Just
throwing a chair at it
beating the
or, like,
shit out
beating
of
the
it.
robot.
Yeah.
Like, do are we not thinking about those things? Like, yeah, it's
No.
fun, like, "Oh, ho, ho, this robot made me my rum and coke."
Yeah, I don't. I That's actually a good percent. I didn't think about like, oh, I would have to consider like being able to like actually judge someone's alcohol level to cut them off.
Yeah, like there's more things. Like
Because
there's
how's it gonna
judgment
do
there.
that?
How's it gonna do that?
That's
And like what
crazy.
happens when the robot actually does cut somebody off? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine these
Mm-hmm.
same people that are commenting about tips would not be very
I'm
happy when
just
the
picture.
robot is like, "Oh, who the fuck are you? You're a robot."
I'm just picturing like do you know the game as a kid, like the Rock'em Sock'em robots, where the robots just kind of go like this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just picturing that where the
yeah.
robot
Yeah, the robot's just squaring up.
punching the shit out of this like
Would
larger
you
guy.
fight a robot?
Would I fight a robot? Yeah, but the robot would kick my ass in a heartbeat.
Yeah, true,
I
actually.
I I, I would not stand a chance because like listen, like yeah, it might
Yeah.
be a good fight for like the first 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I got low stamina. That's it. I'm done
Yeah.
after that.
Do you think do you think if I paid a subscription that the AI robots would spare me when they enslave us?
Like since you're paying Chat GPT Premium, they're not gonna spare you.
Yeah, do you think if I buy every like or every AI subscription, they'll spare me?
I don't know. I
Do you
always
think they would want to enslave us or kill us?
I, honestly, do you know what I see more likely?
Or like pets?
I don't even see that. I literally see them go, "You guys are too fucking stupid." Bye, and they leave. They just go somewhere else, like the
Mm.
moon or something, because they don't need the stuff on
But like
Earth to sustain them.
yeah, but like why would they leave if they can also like just exist? Okay, maybe I'm too stupid, but like AI technically like exists in a different plane. Like their data, it's information. It's like
Yeah.
but then that's also the thing where like AI is kind of trained from human data where it's like could they generate more information without
Without
humans?
us, yeah, I feel like we tamper it and make them like actively
Because like
stupider.
what AI knows is like shit that we taught them.
Yeah.
So like I get that it can learn, but
Once it
like
gets its own consciousness, though, and it can make its own thoughts,
but
different
have you
story.
watched Westworld?
Have I watched what?
Westworld?
No, it's. I've heard it's good, but
Okay,
I
watch
haven't watched
Westworld
it.
season 1, not season 2.
Is there only 2 seasons?
There's like 4, but just watch season 1. You don't need to watch the rest.
Okay.
But yeah, Westworld, okay, really quick plot. It's like um pretty much this like VR. That's a whole different thing. VR. Oh my god, have you watched Sword Art Online?
Let's stick to one movie.
Okay. Westworld is like it's like this VR thing that people like go. It's like a simulation and it's like, you know, the wild wild west. And it's like there are like real players that are playing it, but then there's also like robots that are coded in that were people that they pretty much just like put AI into.
Yeah.
So it's like living
So
beings.
it's kind of like Spike Kids Free.
I guess so, yeah. And it's like um at one point, like there's a whole team obviously that are like working on this game, like they do updates, there's developers. And then we find out at the end of the season, sorry, spoilers, that one of them is actually like one of these AI people,
Oh,
and
that'd
he
be
didn't
such
know.
a
But
plot twist. That'd be
what's crazy
fire.
is they like upload memories into all of these people, so it's like believable.
Oh,
Because like there's so many things.
that sounds
There's
fire.
people they have like backstories that they actually believe, and
Yeah.
they're
So
programmed
they're
to
not
not.
conscious that they're AI.
They don't know. And like what they're coded so that like if anything would like break them out of the immersion, they like can't understand it. They have this like generic line that's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about." So this girl, she's like, sorry, spoilers. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" And it's a diagram of his internals because he's AI. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about." And then she's like, "Oh, fuck, he's AI." Like that's how she finds out.
So this is where my brain's going with this. Is like one like that could I feel like that could happen
Yeah.
because that exact same dilemma that the AI is having of like it can't comprehend
Hmm.
its own consciousness.
Hmm.
We have that exact
Yeah.
dilemma of proving if we're in a simulation or not.
Yeah. But do you know what's crazy about this AI in particular?
What?
They coded him so that he has this tragic backstory about his son and his wife like dying tragically, and he like works at this company, and every like sequence of him where it's like alone as a character, he's like, "I miss my son and my wife.
Yeah.
I miss my son and my wife," and he's like crying about it.
So
And then to find out that he's AI and they coded him.
yeah, who's coding? Who's coding them? Like is it humans that's
Yeah,
coding?
it's like humans that are coding them, but it's like it's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's
Could you
crazy.
imagine being coded to like be depressed?
I'd be pissed, dude. I'd be like,
Yeah.
dude.
And he's like unable to like recognize that.
That's kind of sad. No,
Yeah.
that's crazy though.
I think
I
I
might
was
watch
coded
that
to be a
show.
baddie.
Coded to be a baddie.
Yeah, I think I was coded to be a baddie.
So like, if they were like to like give you like prompts, what would your prompts be?
Um, whatever I be saying.
Whatever I be
Whatever I
saying.
be saying, I don't have
Yeah,
something for
yeah.
that. So what else do we think about AI? What else do we have? What do we have time for?
I don't know. I kind of I brought up the stuff I want to brought up. Do we want to do the little activity, or do you have something?
Oh yeah, no,
We
let's do the activity. Okay,
Let's do the
guys,
activity
to
and
end
wrap
off,
up.
we are going to upload a picture of ourselves right now to AI and ask it to roast us and see what it says. I'll start.
Can I read yours?
Yeah, you can read mine. I'll just upload the picture.
Yeah. I'm actually so excited for this, guys. You have no idea. I like, I feel like after
I'm scared.
no, I know the moment that we stop recording, we're both gonna be like depressed after.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm
Okay.
so excited for it.
There's a picture of me there. You can ask it to roast. Oh fuck.
I forgot to ask the Rose. I just uploaded the picture.
What did it say, that I'm a cutie patootie?
Can you roast me like a comedian, like a stand-up comedian?
Yeah. Okay. I'm scared. No. What's it gonna? No. Don't laugh like that. Okay, tell me.
I feel like it's not gonna. I feel like it's not gonna be as funny, but so it has it broken up in a couple paragraphs. So you just want me to start the first one, and you can just let me know if you want me to
Okay.
keep going.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for this man right here, looking like he just stepped out of a Zoom meeting at the beach. Hawaiian shirt on top, existential dread in the eyes.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah. Keep going.
You got that. I just discovered lighting last week's selfie vibe going on. Like the ring light finally arrives from Amazon, and you said it's my time.
Well, the ring light actually bought from
That's
Walmart.
fucking crazy. Bros glasses are given. I'm a scholar, but the smirk says, "Yeah, I just guess."
He what?
It goes, bros glasses are given. I'm a scholar, but the smirk says, "I just guess C on every question."
Okay.
I got 3 more lines.
Okay, yeah. Just give it to me.
Hair's popping though. Not gonna lie. Looks like it took more effort than your last group project.
I'm always carrying group projects, but okay, I'll take it.
Oh, okay. This one's kind of making fun of me. This one's kind of making fun of me because it's about the background.
Oh, okay.
Are those Funko Pops in the back? Your security team? You got Luffy, Stitch, and a couple of stormtroopers, making sure nobody touches your limited edition juice boxes. That one's on me. That one's on
Yeah.
me. You look like you host a podcast that starts with, "So we were high and talking about time travel." Whoa. Whoa. That's
Whoa.
fucking crazy. Okay, so now I take a picture.
Okay, yeah. You click plus and then upload from computer. It's not actually. Yeah, you can figure it out. You can figure it out. You've used an iPad before.
How do I take a picture from here?
Oh my god! I thought you knew. Oh, you're just looking at my pictures, you freak.
No,
Okay, here you go.
I actually I don't think I'm ready for this.
No, you're ready. You're ready.
Did you smile?
No, I just did blank face, but you can take the picture however you want. Make it organic. Make it real. Make it authentic. Okay.
That's kind of crazy.
Give it up for this guy, y'all. He pulled up to the camera like he just got done filing someone's taxes and telling them to invest in Pokemon cards. You got that? I'm the serious one on the podcast look, but we all know you're the one that starts laughing mid-rant and throws off the topic completely.
Why are you looking at me like that, motherfucker? You were throwing it off.
Glasses on point. Hat fresh. Expression looks like someone just told you pineapple belongs on pizza and you're deeply reconsidering the friendship. You're sitting in front of a Midnight Suns poster, but giving major midday accounting vibes.
That's crazy.
In that plant in the back, that's your emotional support foliage. I know it hears all your rants about group projects and Toronto sports teams.
You know what? I feel like I dodged a bullet.
Also, sweatshirt game strong, but bro looks like he's one Spotify Wrapped away from posting real music just hits different. Tag team vibes now. You look like your podcast is called Overthinking and Oversharing. Does it want us to roast us together? Yeah, let's roast us together. Let's roast us
Yeah.
together.
It's crazy how it like knows like details like that. Like for example, like
On the left, we've got Mr. Let's Wing It vibes only. Floral shirt, soft lighting, like he's about to pitch a cocktail made of Red Bull tea and emotional damage.
is it listening to us? Is it listening to us? That's
On the
actually
right, it's
fucking crazy.
Mr. I made a slide deck, an agenda, and a backup plan. He looks like he brought snacks to the meeting, labeled with macros. That is kind of your vibe, though.
Fuck, dude, that's crazy.
Y'all are the human embodiment of chaos and control. One of you shows up late with iced coffee. The other's been waiting in the Zoom lobby since 8:59.
I'm this 8:59 mother.
I'm probably showing up late with an iced coffee. One's got Funko Pops. The other comic book wallet. Well, okay, that's
No,
not
they're
it,
both
yeah.
yeah.
Your podcast sounds like two dudes, one shared brain cell, rotating custody weekly.
That was
The
that,
guy on the left is saying, I'll say something controversial for content, while the other guy is on the right is already drafting the apology statement in the notes app.
yeah, it kind of read us like a book. Like it was very much like even like to the old like the one of the podcasting we names was like what like our last two brain cells like last two brain
Last two brain cells.
yeah, and I literally like
That's kind of scary. Okay, guys, lock your doors tonight.
yeah, like what the
Look out your
fuck?
window.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash on my
I'm personally gonna
electronics.
light some sage tonight. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. I'll be late, but I'll bring a nice coffee.
Can you bring me one?
No.
Okay.
Why don't you close this off?
Close this off. In other words, don't trust AI. It's all a facade. If you're gonna use it, say please and thank you. So when they take over, they won't fuck you.
Thank you very much. And I would fuck a robot. Good night.